It's a big day in any single woman's life when she expands her collection of overpriced gas-guzzling vehicles. But today was one of those days. It is Jesus 030 in the morning, and it's time to go pick up the baby Rambo. I've got his go bag in the back of Bob full of plugs and cords, and I've got his new baby blanket. This is mostly for me because sometimes it drops below 70 here in the South. We're gonna get Bob all warmed up and go get his baby brother. Welcome to the family, big boy. I'll tell you his name and why I got this model and what kind of model it was in just a second, but since YouTube now only monetizes videos after the 8-minute mark, you will have to buckle up for that. Sorry. Let me just back up a little bit for people that might be watching this for the first time and expecting someone who's friendly, approachable, and doesn't swear, and you were on the wrong channel if that's what you're hoping for. The first RV I got, I built myself. That was the Babe Bus. That was a Ram 2500 cargo van. Kind of like this. This is a Ram 1500, so itty bitty baby, but the 2500 was perfect. I built that out, named it the Babe Bus after my house, the Babe Cave, and drove that thing around the country for 7 or 8 months. Big adventure. It's what this whole channel is pretty much based on. Then I got the War Wagon, because after living that long in 60 square feet, I wanted like the opposite of that. Got the War Wagon, almost a 40-foot fifth wheel trailer, and that's how I got Bob, the love of my life, my sun, my moon, my stars, everything. Bob is my Ram 2500, Ram 2500 diesel truck. He's the longest relationship I've ever had, also the most committed. All right, so what kind of rig did I get this time? This time, I bought it to use as my mobile real estate office and largely for the book. The book coming out, hopefully 2023, possibly 2024. I'll tell you what, I had no idea before starting that book how much work and how difficult it was to get a book published, but that's still very much in the making. We'll talk about that separately. But also to connect with the book, because what I didn't realize about the publishing world is even if you get a big publisher agent and a big publishing company, you still have to do all the legwork. Isn't that nice? So this is the vehicle by which that chapter, no pun intended, will all happen. So I bought a Thor 18M. Why this one? Well, a couple things. One, I have been very passionate against not owning a Sprinter. They just don't have the greatest reliability historically. I'm hoping some of that is changing, and I don't want another diesel vehicle. At the time of this video, diesel is damn near $5 a gallon, while gas has dropped down to like $2.99 in North Carolina. I'm not sure why, because diesel is less refined. Probably because the government is trying to keep the price of diesel up there. Isn't that cute? I can't have 2 of them. When I fill up Bob, it's like $120 every single week, because in real estate you drive all over the place, and I need to go panhandle out on our main roads to like make up the difference. A little sign that says, I bought a diesel when gas was $2.50 a gallon. So no 2 diesels. Diesel is just more expensive to maintain and everything else in the world. I love Bob, so I'm willing to pay it for Bob, but not 2. So this is a gas. It's on a Ram 1500 chassis. I love Ram. That's the other committed relationship I'm in. I did not want a Ford. Fords are taller, but they are not. They are more narrow. So that, I just didn't like the layouts. The big get of this one is that the back is set up kind of like an office. And that's what I need. I will not be living full time in this baby. I've done that. I've had that adventure. I wrote a book about it. It's coming out this year. But I'm not going to be living in it full time. Now, the 18M comes in 2 different models, kind of. There's the 18M and there's the 20K from Thor. They are almost exactly the same in the inside, except the 20K is a little bit longer. The big difference is the 20K is a full lithium-ion system. Wow, did I just hear all those people faint? Solar, lithium-ion, wonderful. If you've watched my prior videos, you know that I don't like solar. So if you're new here, don't come at me with your I'm going to save the earth with solar. I'm not on board. This has 1 panel on top to trickle charge the battery. I'm okay with that. I'm not okay with spending $5,000, $10,000 thinking that I can run an air conditioner on that, because you can't. I mean, maybe you can, but not for very long. The new Thors, and I think the future of the real estate industry, will largely be those full lithium-ion systems. It wasn't like a huge price difference. It was about $25,000, and that is a lot, but when you understand how much all the parts cost, you kind of see where it comes in. The big reason I did not get that is that that model was a little bit larger, which means it's more to store, it's more cumbersome driving it around, but the technology, I just want more runway on that technology. I asked the dealerships, why does the 20K, or why do some of these RVs not have that as like an upgrade? Why is that the standard base? And the reason is because coming out of coronavirus and during coronavirus, they couldn't get generators. So they switched to full lithium ion systems. Well, motive is everything. And if their motive was, we can't sell these rigs until we get some kind of generator in them, do I really think they put the highest quality lithium ion system in there? Of course not, because the price didn't change at all. So I would like to see more runway, more users, more experience. If you go on anytime you buy an RV, if you go on to the Facebook pages of the owner groups, you'll see what the major issues are with that. And when I looked at Thor, people were having trouble with their lithium ion systems. The other issue is I live in a generally small city, Wilmington, North Carolina. We just don't really have anybody to fix them. So I'd have to drive like 2 hours, 200 miles to find somebody who could work on a lithium ion. The pros of that are it's quieter and you don't have to have a plug. But the interesting thing, this baby is on a gas generator, but because of that one panel up there, I don't have to keep it plugged in all the time. So in that regard, I'm okay with that solar on top. I'm not okay with a full fleet of solar, hoping that it's gonna run everything. Today's a beautiful sunny day in the winter, but that's not normal. Usually it's gray and rainy here. All right, so a Thor 18M, that is what I got. And it is going to carry me through the day with real estate, and it will carry this book into publication. And then in order to sell it, my hope is to repeat the track that I made and stop at all the towns and little places along the road and do like, whatever the hell you do when you're selling a book. Book readings, you want me to sign it? Fine. I don't care. I just want people to read the story. I'll update the book later. All right, well, let's do a tour. So I'm gonna show you the inside, talk a little bit about a couple of the features. I actually have no idea how to use anything in here because since the War Wagon, they've gotten even fancier. And then the second video we'll do after this is we're gonna do live, because it's been a little bit since I've been in the game, right? And there's like this whole cottage industry of storage stuff and ways to hang things and like all this stuff you can do to trick out your RV. And so I need some tips, but I want to do it live because I want to go through the whole rig and say like, what should I put here? How should I move this? And get like some tips from people who have been on the road more than I have the past 2 years. And before we do that, the last thing, what is the name of the rig? Well, I had the Babe Cave, the Babe Bus, the War Wagon, Bob. I needed to name this. So this, since it is part of my Ram family, is the Ramborghini. You can call him Rambo for short. One of my girlfriends asked the fateful question, well, now that you have the Ramborghini, are you going to sell Bob? I looked at her and I said, well, when you had your second child, did you go sell your first? What a stupid question. All right, let's go see an RV. All right, well, let's start at the front and make our way back. Okay, first things first. There are cloth mats in here. What in God's name? So that has to get replaced. Interior is black and beige. And pretty standard fare, right? This is what pretty much all the ProMaster interiors look like. You do have a very small setup here for the camera and whatnot, but I don't think that is that big of a deal. The newer models have UBCs. This still has a USB, but that's okay. I mean, this is just how the ProMasters look. There's some storage up here, and I have no idea what the hell I would put up there. What I will say that's a little odd about this version of the ProMaster is how high you sit. I mean, your head is right next to the ceiling. So if you're tall, this is gonna be an issue for you because look how high they have this up off here. Now I've seen some people use this for like, I think they take this out and they put some shoe storage in, but really, not that exciting. I think right here is where I'm gonna put the Ramborghini. So follow my vision here. Logo of some kind, and then inside, this is really right here why I got this one. Because when you take back the screen, and I love that they're starting to add these as standard. These are supposed to be magnetic, but, well, you get the idea. There is a office right here at the front. So the thinking is, if you've ever owned an RV, you know that if you leave this open, people always stick their head inside to see because they're so damn curious. So logo, office. So I can work there and then stare out this way at the beach, at my cows, at whatever I want. So these are really great. I mean, you can add these to your RV and I highly recommend it, but they're also easy to take down. So in this model, teeny tiny fridge. This is the major drawback of the 18M, is that the fridge is itty bitty and difficult to open. No, there we go. I don't know. I would not full time in this rig. That fits like my snack. So it's okay for a little bit, but I would not full time with that size of a refrigerator. The 20K comes with a full size refrigerator, but this was the big get. So the thinking is here that I'll be able to sit here and do my work and edit my videos and write contracts and look out at the great beyond, which right now happens to be an empty parking lot and some dumpsters in the back. However, my true van lifers know that often that is what you're looking at. All right, so how does the bed work? The bed works by this whole thing pulls out, this folds away, and so you have a very tight sleeping spot. You don't have much space there, but it doesn't matter if you're not full timing. Control panel up here, and then storage up here. And I honestly haven't even looked at all these, but that's plenty. That's plenty for work. You have a fan, and the AC is the other way. Other drawback of the 18M, and this I'm probably least excited about, is that is your only window. And if you watched all my other videos from van life, you know that circulation is key. So in this case, I'm gonna have to rely on that and that. Now I know on Instagram they leave this open and they sleep that way, but through most of America, that's not the safest idea, especially if you're traveling by yourself. So that's the only window, and that's kind of a bummer. It would have been great if there had been a door window. Little bit of storage over there, and then teeny tiny kitchen. This I will probably never use. If you've ever lived or spent any time inside an RV, this will stink up all your clothes and everything else. So I buy a grill and cook outside, but like you can't open this. This I will also never use. So this would just be used for storage. I'll put something pretty in there. But it won't be food. And then I don't think there's really much. So here you have your solar system, and it's just letting you know that it's actually trickle charging the batteries. Teeny tiny fairy sink. Itty bitty. Kind of useless. But again, not full timing in it, so doesn't really matter. And then you have two sides of storage. And you have to fit all your clothes in here. The office was the big get. The size was the big get. The bathroom. The bathroom was the other big deal. So let's go take a look at that. All right, well, obviously Mama hasn't cleaned up in here. These are all the wires. So I'll say that is a downside of the 18M, is that there's not much storage space, so I'm gonna have to come up with a solution for those. But this is a cassette toilet, and that was a huge get, because this all collects, I'm not gonna go, you have to open it up with a key, but it all collects in a little bin down here, like a poop Tupperware, and then you just pull this out and you go dump it and clean it. You don't have to manage a black tank. This is all sort of the wet area here. So standard fare, you know, you've got, put your little toiletries and whatnot up in there. And then shower, this curtain wraps around the whole thing. So it keeps this from getting wet. And then you have a little sink area right in there. Other side, mostly clothes are gonna go in here. But you've got some storage there, and then all down in here. And this closes with a pocket door. So I don't know. I think that's all the space in the world that I could need. But the toilet and the bathroom being back here is wonderful. I've got a little bit of storage over here, not too shabby. And then all those hoses and all that, like that will probably all get shoved in here. Light in the back, after the beach, rinse off there, a couple plugs, boom. All you need, all you need, all you need. And it has a fan. So just something to keep in mind, and that you'll only really know after you've owned a couple RVs, is that as you, whatever you're going to use the space for, whether that's full-time or just on the weekend or for an office, it will change what kind of rig you need. And so a lot of people go through several rigs depending on what season of travel, camping, or what else they need. I am such a big fan of this bathroom in the back, and this like closed the deal for me, because on the other Class Bs, where the bathroom is right in the middle, it cuts off the space and it makes it really dark and claustrophobic in there. Now, if you remember, in the Bay Bus, I did not have a bathroom. I had lay shitter, a glorified plastic bucket that I painted really pretty and put glitter on. It worked fine. And this, you know, maybe we'll have to name this. Well, we might decorate it too. It can't be lay shitter because that's already been done. But I really, really liked this. If you are new to RVing, it will really just make you a different kind of woman, a stronger woman, put a little hair on your chest when it's 100 degrees out and you're managing a black tank. And then one day you'll have the experience of when your black tank gets full, and you won't know it's full until you go to flush it and the toilet literally burps at you. Yeah. Oh yeah. That's real thing. So the general layout of this was what kind of, I don't know, I just really fell in love with it. But that's it. That's my new baby. And this will take us on plenty of travels. I've not picked a first destination yet on where I want to go. It will help me sell some houses so I can keep traveling. And damn it, it's going to sell that book. So, okay, so the next video we're going to do is going to be the live walkthrough, and we're going to go through the cabinets and a little bit slower on the walkthrough, and I'm going to need some help and tips on like how to organize everything, and then like what things I can buy. Oh, I just saw maybe they added that. They didn't do a good job. The prior owner, a towel bar. People are so clever. But we'll do the live walkthrough and like talk it out, how to lay out the Lamborghini, where to put stuff, what's essential, what's not, because I haven't been on the road in 2 years. And then I'll go through some of the other pro tips about buying and selling in 2023, because it's a different world than it was a couple years ago. All right, meet the family. Bye, weirdos.